Hello and welcome back to Laura's Cozy Corner. I'm all decked out in my super cool umbrella hat, and I've got all the jugs that I've been saving. I've been going through all my rainwater, feeding my animals, drinking, and plants and stuff too. So I'm running low, and I don't have what I used to have to catch water. So I wanted to show you all what to do if you don't have this stuff that I had in my previous videos. A big trash can just catching water or whatever. So we got our gutters on here recently, and I was trying to figure out how in the world to catch water from them and be cheap, because, you know, I've watched on Doug and Stacy's channel, and they have this big, extravagant, costly way of catching all their water off all their buildings, and it all goes to one section or one container, and they have to flush it and all this jazz. You can go there to their YouTube channel. It's Doug and Stacy Off Grid, and if you are interested in that, you can do that. Well, I don't have the means for that money-wise. So this is what my water catchment is for those of you that cannot afford. I have any kind of bucket, anything you have that fits underneath your gutter. So I've got an ice cream bucket catching the water. I have a measuring cup because it has the little spout to easily pour into each gallon that I have. And look how clear the water is. Pretty much already clean. So that's how I catch my water. Pretty simple, and it's useful, right? So I'm just gonna show you. Let me dip my... You can use a funnel if you prefer. Now these jugs have been previously washed, you know, Dawn dish liquid and everything, and I just use these just strictly for rainwater. So if you see a little bit of green, that's just the algae down inside a little bit, which ain't gonna hurt a thing. I was using this trash can to catch water, and over the winter, you know, it froze up and it busted out the bottom of it. So metal is not a good thing to catch water in it and letting it freeze and stuff. But my husband fixed it back, welded it the best he could, and we'll use this trash can another way. Just not for water catchment. I mean, you can see how clear that water is from our rooftop. So if it got to a point where I didn't have water to drink, I'd catch water, rainwater this way. Use a filter, you know, at home. That's how I do our water from the tap anyway. Use a filter on a jug, and we'll have drinking water. I'll leave some headspace because when it does, if it happens to freeze, it won't explode on me. Not only using gallons, but I use half gallons. Any kind of jug. Whatever jug has a top on it, it'll work. I use clear, I use milk, I use orange juice, whatever. If you have clear bottles, though, I do suggest you put it in the darkest room that you can get. Now, sometimes I'll see little bitty gritty stuff from the roof. Or if there's a leaf in it, I'll pick it out before I pour it in the jug. Just dump it out like that. Very simple. Yeah, it takes a little time. If you got water. I do not, however, suggest to be out in the rain during a thunderstorm that you think might be far away. In bare feet, next to a rain puddle, metal gutter, metal trash can. That's not very safe when lightning strikes nearby. That happened to me. I said, okay, I'm going in. Today it's not thundering, so I'm out here catching water this time. Sorry for not videoing the past, I think it's been 2 weeks now. The first week, I think I didn't feel good or something happened where I didn't get much done. And maybe just even DoorDashed. But this past week, me and Hank, we've been feeling good. You know, and we've been up and we've been moving around and things, and I found a different way to handle the food situation where I was working so much I couldn't be home to cook. So I bought different things, looking at ingredients, frozen food, you know, it is preservatives and things, processed food. That's better than me stopping at a fast food restaurant after work or before work to get food from there. So that's what we've been doing. So it's put some extra time on my hands. I'm not standing at the stove cooking and things. I remember the first week I got caught up on all my dishes, guys. Y'all ought to be proud of me. All the dishes are caught up, and then the next day or two I did laundry and got all that caught up. So all that's caught up. Dishes are caught up. Since I'm not cooking, there's not that many dishes to do. So I've been keeping it caught up. And so that's been easy. My washer, I just been whatever dirty clothes through the day. I find it, I throw it in the washer. And once the washer gets completely full to the top to make a big super load, that's when I'll wash it. Normally, I would hang my laundry on the clothesline. That takes time as well, time that I really don't have at the moment. So I've been using the dryer, which really isn't that bad on my electric bill right now. So I'm going to keep doing that just until we get, you know, caught up on bills and things. But I do want to show you, however, that we've been busy cleaning the yard the past couple of days, this past week. So if you'll remember my previous videos, maybe, this was all piled up with trash and things from them redoing my house. So I went through it all, kept what I wanted to keep, trashed whatever was trash, and then we weeded it and mowed this area. Then another day, if y'all may know that my husband, he's disabled, and he was being troubled by Well, he feels down because he's not been able to help me around the house. He feels like I'm doing everything, and it's because he's not able. So he's had the good feeling of mowing the yard. Well, the riding lawnmower was down. He'd fix it, it'd fix a while, something else would go down. It keeps going like that. So in the meantime, our grass was getting tall, knee high. Some of it's even chest high. Well, you can still see that I haven't clipped this area around that rose bush because it's so thick my weed eater string won't really cut it. And he kind of skipped over that with his weed eater, but maybe it's the same. But I've got some clippers I can go back and clip it around the rose bush there. So a lot of these wild trees that's been growing up, he's took the handsaw and cut down. So all of this is nice and clean. Weed eat it down. We put over here what we're gonna maybe reuse. This is gonna be our storage area. And I'm gonna clean out the back of that truck, and we might even put some storage area inside that. This over here, if you remember, of course, you can probably see the big dead grass. This is how far out we had just stuff setting. So we trashed what was trash, kept what was keep, and put it in the building if needed. Same thing with over here. All this was all growed up, trees and everything else. You can go back and look in previous videos, like I said. So pretty much got this all weeded it down. Same thing with here. Took time. My husband, he would weed it a little bit, set a little bit, push mow a little bit, set a little bit. Now my son, he's 9, and he wants to mow. So we're going to give him money. We said $10 a week, and he can mow. So once all the grass is down low where he can mow, then we're going to do, let him mow and get it all done every week. Well, that takes time away from me, so I got some time. And if Hank doesn't feel good, he's the ground's still getting mowed. So it's good win-win-wins. All of this over here has been freshly weeded now. The chicken coop, I don't know if I've told you all, but I think I did. My last hen passed away on me, and I've been slowly trying to clean up inside there. But we got all of this mowed. I did that yesterday, actually, around the back. And I got to get over here and start weed eating and stuff too. But the garden, I wanted to point out. See this grass growing right in here? This is the part of the garden that I didn't get cardboard laid down and mulched. And you can see the difference between this part and that part. Every now and then I pluck up green weeds. But the mulch over time, it breaks down. So you got to layer more mulch on top. I have not got to that point yet. So you'll see some green coming in places. But the next layer would be something lighter, like paper, and then mulch. But I think I want to go ahead. I'm not sure if I'll start with that side because it's already pretty much ready, and then work my way this way. This side ain't done. I might end up doing that. But all of our trees and stuff that we had from the yard, we just piled it here in the garden so that when I go to mulch, we can mulch it right inside here. I'll have a pile of mulch to just start working with it. Also weeded it underneath and in behind that corner yesterday and all around. So the yard's starting to look like a yard again. Woohoo! After a year of stuff that's gone downhill. We're coming back. So, just want to show you guys something. went to Tractor Supply a little bit before Mother's Day, and the boys wanted to buy me some trees. So I got another apple tree so that this one will have a mate. Apple trees, you have to have two to pollinate. I got another peach tree. It actually has leaves on it this time. And I got 2 almond trees. You have to have 2 to pollinate. And I got home and I started researching a little bit more. That was a quick research. And you have to have a pollinator 1 and a pollinator 2, type 2, to have them pollinate and make almonds. Well, luckily, and that was God's plan, I got a pollinator 1 and a pollinator 2, so it's going to work out. I got 2 of the pecan trees. So I'll be planting those here soon. And here's my potatoes that I had planted in the previous videos. They're already getting big. As they was coming up out of those holes that I had dug, I grabbed some of this here dirt and spread it around and just kind of fill it in. I still got more dirt, so I'll keep doing that. It's just hard to do it when it's mud, so I was trying to let it dry out. And then yesterday it was too dry, so it was kind of hard to get the clumps out. But as I can also, I'm going to see how the yard is starting to come past the fencing. I'm gonna start putting some cardboard back in here and mulching that, because it's really coming in over here. I'm gonna start mulching that up, and it'll stop it from coming over here. But my potatoes are doing great. These are my red potatoes, 5 of them. And these are the Yukon Gold potatoes, 5 of those. I still haven't planted my russets, as you can tell. They're still in my potato bin with ice. My peas, look at those. They're getting tall. They got buds on them. Some of them do. And every now and then I'll come out. If it's starting to look a little wonky, I'll try to get them to hang back up here if they can. Once you get them hung, they pretty much climb themselves, just like cucumbers. But I have some pea pods coming on. They're just not thick yet. I'm waiting for them to thicken up. We didn't have much rain here recently. We have a whole bunch of rain, then we don't have hardly any rain. So we got a nice little shower today though. But there's more buds to make more pods. Peas are fun to watch. Here's my apple tree. He's starting to lean. I've got diggers in here. Probably moles, bowls, something. So I'm gonna eventually get this stood back up, maybe stake it or something. That way it doesn't stay that way. And I discovered David the Good's new grocery row gardening, and my husband got me a book on it, and I've read it. It's very interesting. And he starts with, you ought to go to his YouTube channel and look it up. Actually, he explains it very well. He has a video on there that shows you how to do it from the beginning to the end. He's been doing the grocery row gardening for a couple years, and also wrote a book about it. More or less just simplifying it down for you. You start with fruit trees. You keep them pruned to a little bit shorter so that you can get all the fruit off of it. Don't let them go crazy. Then you have a bush, you know, like blackberry, raspberry, any kind of bushes, blueberries in the middle. And then around that, you'd have vegetables and fruit planted around those items. And you just got rows and rows and rows of groceries. You're hungry, you come out and you pick it and you eat it right away. So, or you fix it for dinner. You know, it's really neat how he's got that lettuce likes not much sun. So where did you put lettuce? You put lettuce underneath your trees. Whatever needs a lot of sun, you know, you plant it further away from the tree. So it's really neat. Now he's down in Florida and Georgia, and he's doing tropical things, but you can incorporate it wherever you're at in your climate. So whatever trees that grow well in your area, whatever bushes grow well in your area. Same thing with vegetables and things. You can change it how you want. So I have a little bit of back to Eden gardening with the mulch and all that. And I'm going to try to start that grocery row gardening. I've got a little plan going. I wrote it down. And you basically have 4-foot rows of the garden space and 3-foot rows walkways. That gives enough space for things to kind of just hang out. They may be growing out in your walkways. You just trim them back. And whatever's dead, you pull it up. You lay it down in your garden bed. It feeds back to the ground. And you plant something else inside. He had a cool idea. You know, like the 12 bean mix that you buy at the grocery store. You can just have a pocket full of those, and just when you find a hole, you pluck one in. It's really neat. I can't wait to see how that'll do here. All right. Well, I guess that's all I can tell you as far as updating here at Laura's Cozy Corner. And I guess we'll catch you guys on the next video. And I don't know what else to say. Say bye, King. Say bye, King. You all wet. He's a good dog. Get you a German Shepherd if you want a good guard dog. He's good. Bye, guys.